Humans, ask yourself, is anyone as hungover as I am? Like, I don't really remember going that ham this week or anything, but fuck, I'm dragging ass right now. I saw a dog drinking from a hose today, and I was like, I get it. I'd fuck with a hose drink right now. Was scanning my Instagram on the way over from my usual thirst traps, and it made me mad because I'm actually dehydrated. Like, I know I'm a snack because right now my body feels like it's mostly pretzels. So if there are any apex predators out there looking for a crunchy treat, I guess fucking come and get it, man. Munch me, you'll be doing me a favor. Fuck, I'm thirsty. I gotta cut back on life, man. Life has been too much lately. Obviously, you have Wi-Fi, you know what's up. We've all been doing too many shots of what's going on, man? Saw Brent last week. They said they had news. I told them, no, man, I'm good. Never did find out what Brent's news was. But I gotta look out for me. Can't take any more, man. Can't take any more life. I gotta close out my tab and ramble on, play my banjo, chewing on nature. Nothing but a song and some stories. You won't have to look hard to find me. I'll be by the river because it said I was dehydrated. Just like looking at rocks, thinking about what they'd say if they could talk. Probably, fuck you, stop tossing me. But like they weren't going anywhere. You're welcome for the adventure, rock. You ever just let your mind wander because thinking about anything logical makes you have to poop and you'd rather not go through all that right now? That's gonna be me, man. Don't ask me what's up when you see me because I'm gonna say something weird like, whatever you wanna be up, man. Then you're gonna wanna kick me in the nuts and I wouldn't disagree with you. It's intolerable talking to people who just let go and leave it all behind. Eat, praying, and loving through traffic. And look, I'm all for people trying to find their inner peace, but at least know how to navigate a four-way fucking stop, okay? There are others present on the highway that have things they need to do, and they don't have the luxurious Instagrammable privilege to just not think about it. So like, I don't know. Take your positive fucking outlook to the right-hand lane and let people fucking pass. There's too much life going on right now to tune out. You gotta face it, even if your head feels like it's made out of radiator juice and your left eye doesn't work right because you said no to tequila shots, but yes to more tequila shots. Can't even be hungover in peace these days. Hydrate and listen up, my worst for wear the For life's getting weirder, we gotta keep our heads straight. Even if they're all bent out of shape because we hit that point during the night where it was call it or rage and we chose rage. Yeah, we're all a little drunk over fur, tongue, dawn damaged, seedy, stinging, and goosed like a bag of assholes. But we have got to stay focused. Sure, I'd slam a beefy melt and hit the couch. That sounds great, but who's got burrito naps money? Not me, I tells you. No, I got too much going on to call it a fucking day. So I gotta be suffering the grog horrors and be responsible. So buck up, matey. Get your sea legs back because it turns out something's rumbling. There's been some buzz, scuttling butt all over. Peoples are talking and talking as peoples. Don't know if you heard, but the word on the rumpus, the scribbles, or however the fuck you want to call it, down the grapevine, is we got monsters. October 10th, 2023. Shannon Parker posted to Facebook after checking in at the Durango and Silverton Narrow Gauge Road in Silverton, Colorado, that on Sunday, October 8th, quote, Stetson and I took the narrow gauge train ride from Durango to Silverton. After leaving Silverton and heading back to Durango, I asked Stetson to help me look for an elks in the mountain. As we were passing by the mountain, Stetson sees something moving and then says, I think that's Bigfoot. Now, if that wasn't proof enough, 3 other people were snapping pics on the train as well. And they got a video on their phone of a mountain beast, quote, at least 6-7 feet or taller. It matched the sage in the mountains so much that he's like camouflage when he's crouching down. If you asked us before our trip, we would have said that maybe Bigfoot could be real, but now we're convinced. And honestly, that's good enough for me these days. They say if you see something, say something. And the Parkers, along with at least 2 other people, went the full fucking distance, seeing and saying. They popped it on Facebook and they told the New York Post. Turns out their conductor also saw some, quote, unexplainable things. Quote, he said that he went out snowshoeing in these mountains before, and has seen footprints that were larger and of much bigger stride than snowshoes would have been. Sharon Parker said, their conductor totally said, and look, right now the way shit's going, that's not even alarming. Like, it makes sense. Bigfoot's getting bolder. Running up the trains now. Bigfoot knows what's going on. They had the whole place to themselves during the pandemic. Probably don't give a shit what you think now, humans. Plus, Bigfoot's got Wi-Fi. He's probably watching YouTube vids of humans cosplaying at New York Comic-Con and figured, the fuck am I nervous about? But, like, y'all have been awkward roommates with Bigfoot for a long time. The tribes, the Yokuts at Painted Rock, made petroglyphs of these hairy couch crashers they called the family, somewhere between 500 to 1,000 years ago. Like, Bigfoot's been that guy that lives with you, but you never see them, but he definitely has a room, and he has been home because you see used dishes, and someone's paying the electricity bill, and you swear one time you had a conversation late at night when you were smashed on the couch. The Chehalis Nation had the Sasquatch, which is kind of where we get Sasquatch, but it wasn't until 1958 when Jerry Crew and his logging buds told Andrew Genzoli, the Humboldt Times newspaper, about these 16-inch feet prints they found in the mud at Six Rivers National Forest, making Willow Creek in Humboldt County the Bigfoot capital of the world. And it's not a shock, woo, to the Bigfoot capital of the world. And it's not a shock that humans see weird shit in the woods. Have you ever been in the woods at night? Thought I saw a ghost once when I was camping. Turns out I did. The woods are weird as fuck, man. Bigfoot's just part of the world, and he's been laying low until now, when the world outside the woods got so fucking wild, he figured, fuck it, it's time for a comeback. And Bigfoot's not the only one. Turns out, the Loch Ness Monster heard that Earth was rebooting classic X-Files episodes, and figured they would update the old headshot, call their agent, get back in the hustle. Also, on Sunday, October 8th, 2023, around 5 p.m., photographer John Howie spotted a 12 to 15-foot thing cruising in the loch towards the tree line. Thinking fast, but like not that fast. It was Sunday by the lake. He was going lake fast. Like, he'll get you a beer, but you'll have to ask twice. John Howie snapped what the Loch Ness Center told SWNS was, quote, probably the clearest evidence this year of Nessie's existence. And this is coming on the tail of the largest full-scale monster hunt for that wiggly legend since 1972. Back in August of 2023, the Loch Ness Exploration page posted on Facebook that, quote, if you believe that Loch Ness Monster exists, then we invite you to join the search. And it got so popular, they had to cap it and set up a live stream, which I don't know if you remember, Zoom, but imagine having to remind a bunch of Loch Ness Monster hunters you met on Facebook to go on mute whilst watching others drone shot a lake. Messing with Nessie is a time-honored tradition that goes back to 7th century AD, when St. Adamnan wrote about how a century earlier, St. Columba totally said that there was a dude he met by the river Ness that said he was totally burying some guy because he was attacked by a water beast. And St. Columba was like, hey, go swim out there and see if that's what's up. And his buds were like, "K," and yup, they were all almost killed by a sea monster. But thankfully, St. Columba did a monk thing and told the monster to knock it the fuck off, and they all had some bread and veg about it. At least, that's what St. Adamnan said St. Columba totally said about it. Since then, people have been seeing something Nessin around in the loch. July 22nd, 1933. George Spicer said his wife saw, quote, a most extraordinary form of animal that flamped across the road like a fettuccine noodle doing the worm at a prom. Sure, 2013 Columbia University researchers found out that was total bullshit, inspired by a dinosaur from the movie King Kong, which, by the way, owes a lot to the look of Loch Ness. But the Courier reported Spicer's sightings, and the Loch Ness Monster got its name. That black and white picture of Nessie you're probably thinking about right now is known as the surgeon's photograph. And it was taken, in quotation marks, in 1934 by Robert Kenneth Wilson, but he doesn't really want to own up to that grainy gram of what looks like a sad whale dick, which, by the way, is also something that actual scientists accidentally proposed that the Loch Ness Monster might be. Quote, back in the day, travelers, explorers would draw what they saw. Tweeted molecular ecologist Michael Sweet, quote, this is where many of the sea monster stories come from, i.e. tentacled and alien-esque appendages emerging from the water, given belief that something more sinister lurking beneath. However, and this is a direct quote, in many cases it was just whale dicks. Then he walked it back. He walked it back, saying, quote, there are no whales whatsoever in Loch Ness. Leading me to a very intense Loch Ness monster is not a whale dick Google hole that must be traveled responsibly. And that is what's really it's all about, man. We have been slamming news so hard the last couple of days that it feels like freshman year all over again. So hearing Bigfoot and the Loch Ness Monster are getting renewed for a new season is a lovely return to a simpler time, an easier time. The monsters from the past coming back are a sight for sore brains compared to the monsters of today. But you cannot ignore monsters. They're too big for that. Instead, all we can do is watch and listen, trying not to chug but sip responsibly. Otherwise, we're going to wake up tired and dehydrated, looking for relief and escape instead of dealing with the world we live in now. I love you. Good night.
Chad, the bird. Green Mill. Give it up for Chad.